Well, welcome everyone to another webinar. My name is Ese Tustofile, and I'm proud to be joined by my wonderful colleague, Mr. Tembas Kosana. Mrs. Kosana, how are you doing today, my brother? Oh, yeah.
I am definitely excited to be here today. Bringing more about what the Chrome browser is all about is something that I'm pretty much excited about because it's a platform that I've been using for quite a time now. So I'm really pretty much excited to be sharing some tips and tricks and some new things and advanced features of the Chrome browser.
No, absolutely. And I think, the topics that we are covering, they are more relevant right now because there is a surge, even though we are talking about after the pandemic, but more and more schools are starting to migrate over to a hybrid model whereby they want to
Yeah,
find out what are the best opportunities of integrating some edtech tools, not just for the
absolutely.
sake of using it, but, it becomes a transformative agency.
Hmm.
So, before we get started with everything else, I just want to quickly tell everyone that Tim and I work for a wonderful company called CloudEDU that's based out here in the Western Cape. So, CloudEDU are premier partners of Google. So, we offer Google services to our clientele. We focus on elements like professional development, whereby change management is a key driver for ICT adoption, and also trying to understand what is the value of the type of technologies that schools can actually utilize. So we also are a tier one a Chromebook reseller in Africa. So any institution that is looking at opportunities of buying educational resources like machines. So we are resellers of Chromebooks. So if you are looking at those, please let us know. And then we also have a very strong technical department whereby schools that are already on Google and they just want to ensure that they tighten up their safety and security elements. We will do a systems audit just to make sure that everything is still currently in place. Schools that say that listen, we don't have a platform of any choice. We are interested in finding out how to go Google. That we can do a technical deployment onto that particular institution. So listen, we have a wide variety of bouquet of offerings as a company. So, with those few words, I would like to finally open the session and say, Mr. Tembas Kosana, what are we here for today before we get to that big announcement?
Well, we are absolutely here to just really talk about how can we use this platform called the Google Chrome or the search engine and seeing the features of it. And also with that, I'm just going to use this opportunity as well to just announce as well what will be coming up next year within actually less than probably 6 months or roughly 8 months. And that is our Innovate EDU conference coming up. And this year it was amazing. It was in Cape Town. And I said you can absolutely testify, this being your Innovate EDU, the first Innovate EDU as well, that it was an amazing conference. And so we will be bringing international speakers that will be joining and edifying teachers on how to use technology and how to implement technology, inviting all Google schools, Microsoft schools, non-Google and non-Microsoft schools to join us in Joburg next year, May 12th. Tickets are on sale already. And once they actually went on sale, we already had schools purchasing tickets. And so there is absolutely a kind of an early bird purchase for you guys for the first 150 tickets that are being sold. So please just check in the chat there. My amazing colleague Setu will be posting a link for you with all the information that you guys will need.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to jump into it?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Alrighty. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are bringing another installment of our webinars to you. And today's session is looking into the Chrome browser and realizing that it is absolutely more than just a search engine. All right. So we're going to jump right into it. But the first thing I would like to quickly mention, and I learned this new word last week. It's a very, very high-tech word called device agnostic, which really best describe this search engine, that it is not tied to a certain device. if you're having an iOS device, a MacBook, or a Windows device, or you're running the Ubuntu program as well, it actually plugs in seamlessly with that. And that is just the one thing that already makes the Chrome browser a very powerful search engine. And so what I'm going to be doing and what I'll be sharing today with you guys is just looking into how one can set up your Chrome, because I think it is absolutely a place where you are every day working on this platform. It is your workspace, and hence why the word Google Workspace. And so you would want to set it up to your personal preference. And also, as I take you guys through today's session, I'll be giving you guys some tricks and tips along the way. All right, so the first thing we're going to look into is simplifying our workflows. But firstly, I'm going to exit my full screen presentation and show you guys a little bit of a trick that I learned from my dearest colleague Deirdre, who's our technical lead. And as you go into the Omnibox, so I have a lot of tabs at the top. We'll be talking about that. But in this presentation, as you go into the Omnibox right at the top, and right at the end where you have the last /, I'm going to go ahead and edit and highlight all of that wording there. And I'm going to replace that with present. And you can already see it's in my search history. And what that does, ladies and gentlemen, it actually keeps everything above my presentation still active. So I'm still able to actually access all the tabs, and while I'm also presenting my screen. So I'll be jumping in between things, and we'll be exploring this Chrome browser together. And let me just run into where I'm at right now. And there we go. And so the nice thing is that whenever if ever your laptop or your MacBook actually dies, or you accidentally closed your Chrome, you close the entire Chrome, or it just unexpectedly closed. What happens is that Google, the Chrome browser actually has a history where it can literally restore all of your previous apps and your previous web pages, actually your previous tabs that you had open. And this button is very, very important. So this is a very short pop-up that will appear on the bottom right corner of your screen whenever your Chrome closed unexpectedly. And for me, I absolutely use this a lot, especially if I'm working and I forget to plug in my laptop, and it will actually die on my Chromebook rather. It will actually die, and then I'll click on this button and it will go ahead and restore. Another trick that I also want to show you guys while I'm busy talking about the tabs and picking off where you left off, another trick that I would like to also show you in the present mode, if I actually go into a document and I click on, so here's a document that I just quickly set up for us. And once again, I'm referring back to the Omnibox, which is the URL part within your Chrome browser right at the top. Now, if I go to that area and I actually click in copy, so I'm going to pause and just talk a little bit about why would I put in copy there. So there's various ways how teachers are using the platform. If you want to share a link with maybe students or colleagues or someone, but you want them to receive a copy of that work, you literally can share the entire URL and then just change at the end where it says edit and add in COPY for copy. And look what happens when I hit the enter button. It actually then forces that person who receives the link and clicks on the link, it forces them to make a copy. And I mean, that's once again another trick for you guys to look into. Another trick that I'd like to share with you guys is the preview one. So if I go and I click in preview and I say enter, what it then does is it takes the document out of editing mode and literally just presents it and gives you a view of that document as well. So already some little things that I really picked up and I realized, oh my word, this is actually a very powerful tool. So if I want to go back to the editing mode of that, I just go back to the last / in the Omnibox, hit that enter button, and my editing mode is once again activated for me. All right, and once again, with me working on this platform on a regular, everyday basis, it's very important to understand that when you're working in your Chrome browser, you need to understand the settings. And what I'm going to do now for us, I'm going to open up settings, and we're going to look into a couple of things like auto startup. All right, so I'm going to head over to the three dots here, and I'm going to head over to settings. So what happens is when your laptop once again dies and it has to restore and everything, what happens is there's a way on how you can set up your tabs on your startup. And this is either when it shuts down, when you normally go and shut down your Chrome and you want to start up again, you can literally set it up so that you can literally continue working on the things that you set up. And in this case, I have a couple of tabs open here, but what this actually enables me is that when I select open a specific page or set of pages, and I have these 4 tabs here that I've set up, if I go and I close my tab and I open it up again, or my Chrome rather, and I open it up again, it will automatically open these 4 tabs for me. Now, please be mindful of this because I'm going to mention something later when we are managing our tabs. All right. And the next thing that I would like to show you guys is casting a tab or your desktop. Now, some of you might be thinking, Temba, do I need some high-tech advanced Chromecast tool or anything like that? And you actually don't even need that, because what's amazing within the Chrome browser that it has a built-in casting tool for you. If you guys never knew this, it is found in these hidden options. We call these the 3 dots, the meatballs. I call it the snowman. So if you click on the 3 dots there, you will see right underneath the print, there is your casting tool. So if I click on this casting tool, what it actually does is how you enable this is if your data projector, this moment I don't have a device right now, but your data projector will be connected to a certain network at your educational institution. And once you are connected on the same network, it will then pick up that device and you are able to cast your screen or your desktop or a tab to the data projector. So another thing that you guys can definitely look into and really test it out, because it is a very powerful tool, especially when you are struggling with cables or maybe you do not have a certain type of cable or adapter to your device. Chrome is there to save you. All right, and so let's quickly then spend some time on managing our tabs. This can be a very daunting, and I won't say daunting, but quite an anxious experience to have, especially when I'm working with a lot of our teams and working with other people abroad and hybridly. You'll come to see that their tab management sometimes just needs a little bit of work and a little bit of assistance. So the first thing I want to show you guys is searching your tabs. Before we look into something else, we right now have a lot of tabs open. And what's amazing is if these tabs were to double up or get like really quite a lot of amount of tabs, I would literally go onto this drop down button right here on the top right corner. When I hover my mouse over it, it gives me an option to search my tabs. So I'm going to click down on that, and you will see that it opens up quite a lot of things that I have here. And there's a drop down, there's a scroll down option as well. Then these are all the tabs. I'm working in a lot of things on my device. I have a lot of windows open, a lot of tasks, a lot of projects that we are busy with, etc. And so a very good way for you to find a certain tab that you are looking for. You just head down to the drop down menu, and there's my sandbox document that I'm using. And when I click on that, it then opens up that document for me. So a very good feature for you guys to look into when managing your tabs. And then the next part about managing your tabs is pinning your tabs. I actually had a very good conversation with Asetu, and I asked him the other day, and he actually mentioned to say, hey, I never knew that one can use pin tabs until I started using Chrome quite extensively, and he realized it's such a powerful tool. Now, you're probably wondering, Temba, what are pin tabs and how do I benefit from that? If you guys see right now where my cursor is at the top, you will see that when I click on right next to that button, there is a cross there for me. And if I accidentally click on that, it'll actually close my tab. But if I head over and I pin it, so I'm going to right click on it and I head over and I click on the pin button, this is basically what I will get on this side. So I've already pinned my tab on the far top, the left corner this side. So let's quickly try one tab here. So we got our CloudEDU website open. And if I head over and I right click on that, I get a nice drop down. There's the option for me to pin. And when I pin that, it literally moves all the way to the left side. And you'll see that the cross that was next to that tab has now been omitted. And while I'm busy moving between these tabs, I'd like you guys to also just see how I'm getting a preview of what is in those tabs as I just hover my mouse over that. How amazing is that? Just a very good way for you to also have that visual aid into knowing, hey, how do I set up, which tabs are what and what is in those tabs. And then the next thing we're going to look into is your tab groups. And this is a new feature that came into Chrome early this year. And it is an amazing feature that I, once again, am using extensively. Especially, and recently what I've done is within our professional development department, where we are doing a lot of training with our schools, what I'll do is per school, I actually go ahead and create a group tab, because everything that is relevant or that is associated to that school, I would actually put in and group it in a tab. So you're probably wondering, Tim, what do you mean tab groups? If you looked on the top left corner, there's already a tab group that I've created. And this is from one of our quick tips that I set up for us. And so if I click on that, it expands. It actually opens up. If I click and then it closes again. So that's actually like, those are like almost hidden tabs, but they're all grouped up together. So how do we set this up actually? Well, first thing first is you open up a certain tab. And right now I have my presentation open. But if I head over to, let's say, our Innovate EDU webpage that I've opened here with all of our information pertaining to next year's amazing conference, I'm going to go and right click and I'm going to click on Add Tab to Group. And I'm going to head over and select New Group. But you guys will see that I'm using it quite extensively. So I'm going to head over and click on New Group. And I can go and just put in Innovate EDU. Let me just do that. And 2023. And I'll just say enter, and it automatically then includes this specific tab into that group. I have my calendar as well, my drive as well. These are what we call your organizational tools. And so if I want to group them together, I'll head over again, right click, add new group. I'll create my group as I go. So let's call these one organizing, or let me just put organized tools. All right, and I'll say enter, and it automatically adds the drive there to me. And so if I head over and I want to include my calendar, I'll just right click on the calendar, head over to add tab to group, and I'll then go ahead and put it into that necessary group. It is now included. And when I click on the group, it'll then it'll expand the tabs that are in there, and then go ahead as well and close them up. So a very, very good way for you guys to see how the tab groups really work. What's interesting is that one thing one needs to note is that you are unable to group a pinned tab. So just remember that. And another thing that I'd like to also mention, earlier I spoke about your auto startup tabs. So if you have selected a specific set of pages on your auto startup, and you pin those specific pages, note that on your restoration of your Chrome, it will actually then duplicate those, because it's already realizing that your pin tabs are there that are set up. And then it will actually duplicate something that I've picked up within the Chrome browser. So just be aware of that rather leave them unpinned, and then set them up on your auto startup. And so when you restore or when you start up your Chrome, those tabs will then automatically appear for you. All right. And then the next thing that we're going to look into with the after the Chrome browser tab groups is our bookmarks bar. Now, you guys are probably wondering, we don't see a bookmarks bar. Well, that is actually our webinar etiquette, and also any of our tutorials that we also do just to keep that clean screen. You will then go ahead to your three dots on the top right corner, where you can customize and control your Google Chrome. And right there there's the option that you find is the bookmarks. And then I will show my bookmarks bar activated. And here is my bookmarks bar. And this is my work Chromebook and a lot of things that I've set up here. But what's amazing about the bookmarks bar, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's one of the best ways on how you can save your web pages so that you can revert back to them and peruse through them later on. A very powerful tool, but a lot of people sometimes do get overwhelmed by how actually it works. But if you head over to the three dots and I go to the bookmarks and I open up the bookmark manager, you will see that it'll open up quite a lot of things that I've set up here. So first and foremost, I have my bookmark bar, and then I have a drop-down menu. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit there for you. There's a drop-down menu, and if I click on that drop-down menu, it'll give all of my folders that I've actually gone and created. And then I even have, then within those folders, just to give you guys an example here from Google, I have quite a lot of things that I've gone and I've created underneath the Google tab there. So one thing that one needs to note is that when you bookmark something, it automatically by default will land in your bookmark bar. But what's amazing is that you're able to create folders. And how we actually do that is right next to the search bar for your bookmarks on the right-hand side. If you click there, you'll be able to add and create new folders so that you can go ahead and organize all of your web pages, everything that you set up accordingly for you. And then the next thing that I would like to show you guys is when you've bookmarked something and you want to unbook it, you can either delete it. So if I go ahead and let's quickly open up a page that I've actually bookmarked for us. And I've gone here. I'm just going to open up this the Google Workspace for Education editions that we have. One of our specialties as well that is set to mention in the beginning to help you identify what tier you would want and which edition of the Google Workspace would be the best fit for you. So I've gone ahead and I've bookmarked this specific page. And if I go to the top here, I can actually go and remove that. Or I can go back to my bookmarks manager, open up where it is actually sitting, which is in my Google folder. So if I click on my Google folder, you will see there it is there. I can go to the three dots and I can then just decide to also delete it. So a very powerful way for you to manage your bookmarks in your bookmark bar. Alrighty. And so let's quickly look at the next thing coming up. This is actually a feature that I recently looked into and thinking about what can we provide our teachers and as well as our students with another tool within a Chrome browser that they can utilize, and that is called the Chrome Reading List. And the icon is found in the top right corner. It almost looks like a window. But it's actually the side panel that is on the right side of your Chrome. And trust me, I never actually knew about this. Believe me, I've never knew about this. And it actually was so exciting for me to see when I looked into this to realize, oh, this is actually a very powerful tool. And so what it actually does is it works a little bit different from your bookmarks that you've had. It gives you more of a focused tier of a lot of your tabs that you have gone and want to read through, mostly like vlogs or articles. And in this case, I've gone ahead and I've saved a couple of things that I actually do spend time reading through, and that's our CloudEDU, knowing that what's going on and the information about that, and as well as the presenters that will be coming, just to get to know them good as well. The other thing that we do as from CloudEDU is our master classes, and in our master classes, we always point all of our teachers to the Teacher Center, which is part of the masterclass. And so I've also gone ahead and add that to my reading list. And then also we have an amazing website where we have our CloudEDU professional development site that we've set up for our schools as well. And then the other thing and that we have is also just our CloudEDU website that I've set up. So these are a reading list that you can set up. And then what's amazing is the minute you open up a new tab, this add current tab option, let me just zoom in a little bit, this add current tab option will then be there for you. But if you open up something that's already, so if I open up the CloudEDU, you'll see that it actually goes and I can't click on it because it's already added to my existing reading list. And you can also go and you have on the right side also your bookmarks within your side panel that is also accessible to you. So I hope really that that's a feature that you are actually going like, hey, I actually never knew about the Chrome reading list. Alrighty, and then let's quickly see what's up next. Then the next thing I would quickly like to show you guys, and I realizing here that my presentation doesn't want to move. Not a problem. Let me quickly see what the issue might be. There we go. Let's see if I can just refresh it for us. There we go. It's refreshing, and let's go back to presenting again. All right, I'm just going to wait for it there. Whilst we are waiting for it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly hide that for us so that we have a nice, clean screen real estate. And once it opens up, I'm going to just quickly scroll down to our necessary slide. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to look into, just once this loads, oh, technology can be absolutely fun sometimes. Absolutely fun sometimes. Okay. All right. Let's go and present for us now. And then we are going to continue. All righty. Okay. And so now I'm going to provide you guys with some absolutely fun Chrome Web Store extensions that we're going to spend some time in this area talking about how can we use the Chrome Web Store extensions to experience a full function, a comprehensive functionality of the Chrome browser. So the extensions, ladies and gentlemen, within the Chrome Web Store are tools that plug in within the Chrome browser and the Chrome core applications that really make everything just work a little bit better. I'm gonna just show a couple, and then after that, I'm gonna also give you guys a set of recommended extensions that you guys can also add onto your Chrome, and also share that with your colleagues and as well as students, just to give you a better experience within the Chrome browser and the tools that go with it. And so the first one that I'm going to be quickly talking about is the Screencastify. And this tool is literally found right here on the top in my extensions bar. So this is the extensions bar within your Chrome. If you're wondering, what is this black puzzle piece icon on the top right corner? That is your extension manager area where you can go and manage your extensions. And so what I've done is I've pinned my extensions that I use regularly, and I will be going through all of these very shortly. Not all of them, but a couple of them. But the Screencastify is the one that we use within our company. And the amazing thing is we use this for our tutorials as well. And what it does is it gives you the ability to record your screen up to 5 minutes. That is the free version. You have a limitation to that, but the paid version absolutely gives you an unlimited recording and editing capabilities there. But you're able to go and browse a tab or your entire desktop, or you even have your web page, your webcam only. You can even embed your webcam onto your screen, and you just hit that record button, and then it just records everything that is happening on your screen as well as the audio. Now you're wondering, well, why would I want to use this? Well, in your case, in terms of creating digital material and resources for your students, and I think this tool was extensively used and is still being used during COVID to upload and create lessons for their students. And I think what's amazing, what's actually good is that when one creates videos, it is very much recommended to create them not longer than like 3 minutes. So keeping your videos nice and short is also a very good way for your students to really be attentive and stay connected to the content. And so you can check that out. We'll definitely be giving you guys all the links to these extensions. And a tool that I actually wanted to use in the beginning, but now I can actually activate it to show you guys how this tool works, is the custom cursor. So if I head over to my extension tab again, there it is. I'm just going to click on it. And what I'll do is I'll click on this icon here. And then this is where I can decide the size of my cursor. So if I just go and I'm just going to activate it quickly, we're just going to turn it on there for us. Okay. And then let's quickly select one. I'm going to select this blue one here. So if I select that blue one, you'll see that my custom cursor is not activated. So I'm going to go and make it a little bit smaller. But if I go on this direction, on this scale, you'll see that the size becomes bigger. So we're going to definitely keep it at a very nice, small and reasonable size. There we go. And now I have myself a custom cursor where I can move. If I want to open up a tab quickly here, you'll see that it'll actually, then you guys can see where my cursor is at. This is definitely a powerful tool to indicate where you're at and what you want to show the audience, your students, people you're meeting with hybridly, or just want to explain something, especially in your lesson. You can definitely do that. And then the next extension we're going to look into, this is more for your creative users, creative people that are using this, teachers, students. What's amazing is the eyedropper. And what I love about the eyedropper is the following. I'm going to open up this sandbox here, and I want to show you guys a very powerful tool. If I want to go and I want to change this entire text into this, let's make it the blue, this color blue of the Google icon. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see how this extension works. So I'm going to go and first I'm going to select the eyedropper extension. So I'm going to click on it, and it will then pop up. And then there's a section here that says pick color from the web page. So if I click there, it's now giving me the option, and you'll see that there's an attachment there, and this is the color indicator. You know, if I put my cursor right on that color of the Google, just waiting for it to go ahead and activate for me. Let me just go and select just something a bit different for you guys. Apologies, guys. Let me just quickly open up my organized tools, Innovate EDU. Let me open up this side. Okay, so if I have a workspace that I'm using, and I'm just going to open up this for us, and I want to maybe have Screencastify the same color as the logo, I would literally go to the eyedropper, pick color from web page, and I put my cursor over the color, and I click on it, and it already selected it. I go back to it, and it is giving me the color of the area that I just chosen, and it has given me the hex code. Now the hex code is a code that is being used on every single color that is digital, I'm going to copy that. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that color, the code. And now I'm going to go back to my screen, and I'm going to highlight the words, head over to the text color, click on the custom option, and then now I'm going to erase the current color and paste the new hex code, and then say OK. And voila, ladies and gentlemen, you have the same color as the icon that you have. So this is a very, very powerful tool, especially when students want to present their work and they need the exact color that they want to match, or you're busy designing something and you just cannot find that specific color. And then, as mentioned, my colleague Esetu will be dropping a list for you there in the chat regarding these recommended extensions that you can add to your Chrome browser to really extensify its functionality. A very powerful and fun tool as well as is your Bitmoji, well-known extension there. But one that's absolutely my favorite between this collection that we have here is your mail track Now your mail track merges with your, connects to your Chrome browser and then merges with your Gmail, because what it does, it's a tool that helps you read your emails and track your emails actually better, where you can see who read your email and also when your email was read. And what's amazing is that if you go further and you upgrade the package of that extension, you'll be able to see who actually read your email, what they clicked on in that email as well. If there was a link maybe in your email that you've had, you'll be able to see that. And then one thing that I'll also like to mention as part of this is checking into your settings, ladies and gentlemen. When you open up your settings and you head over to About Chrome, this is a very important part within your Chrome browser for you to understand that if you're ever experiencing any glitches within your Chrome browser, the first thing that one would have to do is first to see if your Chrome is up to date. And if you go into your settings and you head over to About Chrome and you head over to this section there that tells you about to see if your device is up to date, I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up my Chrome OS settings, and it'll actually tell me the state of my Chrome. And here it tells me nearly up to date, restart your device to finish the update. So I'll definitely be clicking on this after this webinar so that I make sure that I have a Chrome that is up to date, so that there are no glitches and everything is pulling through nicely and correctly, and I can continue working. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, how your Chrome browser can absolutely extensify your work and help you with your workflows, help you with your task, and also going ahead and managing your tabs at the top, and also setting up all of your settings, your background, and everything that you have to your personal preference. And then the last thing that I quickly want to show you guys is the customizing. And I think a lot of people know this, but definitely something worth sharing, that if you go into your customized Chrome and you select a certain image, if I go and I'll click on landscape here, and I love these landscape images that are given for us to put in the background. Just waiting for that to open up. There we go. And these are all collections of landscapes that have been taken and shared within the Google archive of themes that you can add as a background in your Chrome. What's amazing is this option right here to refresh that daily as well. So when you open up your Chrome browser, you have these every single day. You'll then have a different background that you can add to your Chrome. And just to make sure that you have, a personalized working space for you. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for your time. I really hope that these points that I've given you guys, that you can really go ahead and check them out and explore, experiment with them. And I really hope that they do add some value to your work, to everyday work, and to the lives of your students in their learning journey. There you go. Thank you.
No, definitely. Remember, this was excellent, man. I think I've learned quite a lot. One of the things that was so exciting for me, I didn't even know that. What is that pen where you can actually pick a color? Is it eyedropper?
Eyedropper, yes, that's the eyedropper.
Goodness. That is so amazing. You know how many times I had a document where they were using some colors, and now I have to try and search through my color palette, and I want to match those color styles. I didn't even know what that was. Even your cursor. I mean, I love the cursor as it is, so I'm customizing mine as we speak. So definitely those things that I can definitely use. You mentioned a couple of wonderful tools, and I think you also mentioned something about mail tracker as well. So how do we get these extensions? I mean, if I said, listen, I'm looking at getting these extensions, how do I get them?
That is actually a very, very brilliant question there, Seti, because I actually didn't even tell you guys where to get the Chrome browser extension. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that. Thanks so much, Seti. The amazing thing that right now I'm using a Chromebook. And what's amazing about the Chromebook is that if I go to the bottom, I have this auto shelf that I have. And if I go to the launcher and I click on there, the launcher actually gives me much easier and quicker access to the web. So if I put in just web, you'll see that it comes up. And if I click on it, it'll then open up the Chrome Web Store. We'll also, I said to you, you can go ahead and just add that link as well into the chat with the Chrome Web Store link there. That will be giving you guys, that'll then connect you to all the other extensions. You'll see that this is your Chrome Web Store. Just like we have Play Store with Android devices and App Store with Apple devices, within the Chrome OS, we have the Chrome Web Store where you also then have a bunch of applications, games and themes that one can choose out from. So if I'm going ahead and I'm looking for, let's say, the mail track, the one that you just mentioned now, Esetu, and so I head over to the search button and I click on the enter, you'll see that it gives me a list of a lot of these extensions, but we are given 3. And what we do is the one thing that one needs to be vigilant about is the rating of the specific extensions. We realize that they are sometimes duplicates, but you always look at the one with the highest rating, and also just looking at the logo as well. So if I click on that, because it's already added to my Chrome, it gives me this option that says remove from Chrome. But if you do not have it on your Chrome, it'll give you a button that says add to Chrome, and then you just simply click on that, and there'll be a drop down at the top that actually comes down where you can just allow that Chrome to be added to your Chrome browser. That Chrome extension to be added to your Chrome browser. Yeah.
Lovely. One more question.
Yes.
I think I speak for most teachers. So I'm a teacher who was working at School X, and I am not using my personal device. I am using some other device, whether the institution had given it to me or the department has given it to me. Now, at home, I'm using my personal device, and I've done everything that you've just done. I have created a bookmarks bar. I've created my wonderful bookmarks. I've got my extensions that have already been pinned. Everything is sorted out. But I don't want to bring my device to school. So how do I bring that whole bookmarks bar and those extensions into the classroom with not my personal device, but it's the school's device? So how do I ensure that the settings that I have on my device, I can still have them on any other device that I'm using, whether it's at school, whether it's wherever else, or whether we're sharing devices? How do I do that?
That's a very good question. So the first thing that you need to understand is that when it comes to settings of the device itself, if there's a certain setting, not within the Chrome, but on the device, that stays on the device. But when you're speaking about setting up your Chrome and those settings in the Chrome, your bookmarks, your reading list, all your web pages that you've saved, all the content within your drive, if you are using the Google Workspace platform or any other platform, all of that follows your profile, which means, once again, taking us back to that device agnostic setup of Chrome, is that when you sign into your account, there's actually a part where it asks for synchronization, making sure that all your bookmarks, all your apps, everything that you've added to your Chrome actually follows your profile. And that's just, once again, what makes the Google Workspace platform so amazing, that all of your content is available anywhere, anytime. You can literally keep everything and share anything as well. So you just simply log into your account using your school account with your password, and then it will ask you those steps to turn on your synchronization on your devices, so that if I work on a device at home, when I get to school, because my synchronization has been turned on, everything that I did at home will then be available and accessible at school on a different device. And that's, once again, keeping your content safe as well. So once you may be using a shared device, just always remember to sign out and log out, so that nobody has access to your content. So that's definitely the best way to do it.
No, thank you so much. That makes a whole lot of sense. Temba, you've made my day, Putti. Thank you very, very much. And I'm sure all the teachers out there are also quite excited to navigating and fighting, because I think it's nice to play around with these new things that we've just learned. Which brings us to the closure of today's session. But before we close, I would like to just quickly bring your attention to the banner that's floating right at the bottom. We've got a wonderful international guest that is going to be with us, that is going to be talking about Ed Puzzle on the 26th of October. So I'm not going to give you the name yet. I just want you to just be waiting in anticipation for the next big thing. So we literally are trying to bring the most current type of edtechs topics to everyone so that we get the best for our teachers out there.
Yeah.
With those few words, thank you so much, Mrs. Kosan, and thank you so much to everyone who's been watching this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get all the latest material that we are offering via YouTube. So with those few words, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Take care.